Master Override armed. To activate, state name and rank.
Elizabeth Sobek. Alpha Prime.
Master Override activated. Purging Extinction Protocol.
Data integrity restored. Dialogue 3.
Okay, Gaia. Sorry about that. Where was I?
You were telling a story.
Right. Yeah, so, like I was saying, it was a children's electronics kit, but I hacked the wiring to an auto battery and solar PV. So the grass caught fire. And, so did a tall pine that had stood there, I don't know, maybe 100 years.
Query. You were how old?
6. My mother was home, thank God, so she called the fire department, and after, she took me out to the lawn and showed me the dead baby birds, because there were nests in the pine tree.
Query. What did you feel?
I'm not sure. I remember yelling that I didn't care, and that's when my mother took my face in her hands and spoke.
Query. What did she say?
She said I had to care. She said, Elizabeth, being smart will count for nothing if you don't make the world better. You have to use your smarts to count for something. To serve life, not death.
You often tell stories of your mother, but you are childless.
I never had time. Guess it was for the best.
If you had had a child, Elizabeth, what would you have wished for him or her?
I guess I would have wanted her to be curious. And willful, unstoppable, even. But with enough compassion to heal the world. Just a little bit. Anyway, that's all I've got for now, Gaia. Time to tuck in.
I wish you a pleasant sleep, Elizabeth.
Thank you. I'll catch you tomorrow.
Couldn't possibly see a better way to end that game, honestly. That's like a really good ending. It's also got that bittersweet kind of appeal to it because, like, you know, obviously we know Aloy never had a mother, so hearing her, I guess, thinking of Elizabeth as her mother was really good. Just seeing Elizabeth say, like, oh, I want my child to be this, which fits Aloy perfectly. Oh my goodness, that's so good. Such a good ending, honestly. I look forward to doing and playing Forbidden West, honestly. I cannot wait. Also, this is a really interesting way to do the credits. But, yeah, that's it. We're not done. We have the Frozen Wilds, but I'm going to talk about the game now, because this is the main story's ending, so some people don't want to watch the DLC, and that's totally fair. But, yeah, honestly, I don't really have much to say, but this game is good. This is a good game. It's not a great game, but that's not really saying the game isn't good. That's me. For me personally, my opinion, this is a good game. It's got fun combat. Using all the different weapons is fun. Trying to fight each machine and the way you fight them is being really different. That's really fun. Only problems I have with the gameplay are, first of all, I suck at the game, so I'm bad at it. Maybe that's a problem, but nah, I'm joking. That's not a flaw with the game, but that's just a me thing. But I'm bad at the game. But other than that, sometimes controls are unresponsive. Like, when I'm trying to critical hit enemies, it seems very specific, and I can't do it sometimes. Really odd. Also, sometimes I hold R2 and it doesn't do the heavy spear attack, so that's just the game being a little unresponsive at times. But I've played games that are unresponsive, so that's not really the game's fault. Honestly, I don't have any negatives to say about the gameplay. It's just not it's not normally my kind of game, you know? Like, this doesn't really fit the genre I play, but I like this game. But honestly, what draws me to this game isn't really the gameplay. The gameplay is fun, don't get me wrong. But it's easily the Aloy. Aloy as a character makes this game for me, honestly. She's one of the best protagonists in a video game. We'll get to her in a minute, though. But yeah, music, there's not much music, but what music there is, it's pretty solid. You know, it's there. It sets the tone really well. I love the opening theme specifically, where it plays every time with the holograms with Gaia. Really good. The game looks really pretty. Other than sometimes the characters' faces look really weird, like they look like robots. The game looks really beautiful. I cannot wait to see Forbidden West. They're hopefully gonna update it, and it'll look a lot like this, but better, because, you know, it's on the PS5 and all. I don't really have much else to say. All I have to talk about is the story and characters. Honestly, I don't really have any complaints with the story. My biggest complaint, like, not my biggest complaint, but the only thing I can think of with the story is that it's a little slow. Like, in the beginning, the pacing's a little, like, because you're doing you know, the game starts off simple. I like the way the game starts with, Aloy's childhood, her training with, her training and growing up and training with Rost and becoming a hunter, going into proving, because she's an outcast, so she goes into the Nora. That stuff's good. It's definitely my problem with the story. The only thing I can think of is, like, from the point where Rost dies until, like, the Meridian stuff. Like, it's just, like, it's like, I don't know. Honestly, I can't think of any complaints with the story. It's just the fact that, like, it gets really, really good when you get to, like, the Gaia stuff and Elizabeth Sobek stuff and Project Zero Dawn. That stuff is really interesting. Like, I really like the concept of, like, oh, the whole world's gonna be extinct, but this one person, Elizabeth, has an idea to save the world and be the chosen one. They did kind of put, like, the whole chosen one on Aloy a bit, but they weren't cliche about it, so I like the way they did it. But honestly, I don't really have much to say about the story. The story's just good. I like it. The beginning's really neat. I just like following Aloy because Aloy's a great character. The middle is, like, not bad, but it's the weakest point of the story. And, you know, the whole, like, the Meridian stuff is good. But the middle part is easily the weakest part of the story. That's when they have like the branching main quest where you help out Aaron, then you go learn more about like going to Elizabeth Sobek. And the end part, the ending premise, like when you meet Silence and when you go to Project Zero Dawn and learn all the stuff, like learn how all the scientists felt, it's good. That's where the premise gets really interesting. And honestly, it really just, it's nice to see people's opinions, like the different scientists on how they felt with Zero Dawn. That's into the audio data points, but giving you further insight to that kind of thing is really good. I enjoyed it. But yeah, honestly, the premise is really good. The story is good. That's all I have to say. It's good. It's not amazing, but it's good. Like, not every story needs to be like, oh, it's amazing, Tales of Berseria amazing, but this one's good. It's serviceable for the kind of game this is. Like, you know, being open world and all, it does really well with the story. I enjoyed it. And mostly Aloy. I'm going to talk about the characters for a bit. There's not really much to talk about. This is probably where my flaw of the game comes in. The characters in this game are like a little underwhelming. Other than Aloy. You have Rost, who dies really early on. Like, he served this purpose and he was really well done, but he was like, you know, he dies early on. Then you have like the Nora. They're in the beginning of the game, then the end of the game. Like, their concept is neat. Like, the whole, like, oh, how they cast out what's it called? How they cast out outcasts and stuff, and how they have their whole tribe. It's neat. I love the world of this game. The lore is neat. But the characters don't really do much, honestly. Like, I thought Varro was pretty cool, but then he doesn't really show up till the end of the game. Only the beginning and the end of the game. Erend was really good. I think Erend, of the supporting characters, Erend and Silence are probably the best supporting characters. But it's obvious enough that the game heavy focuses on Aloy. Like, insanely obvious. But that's good. They have one really strong lead. Like, the way I look at it is like this. Aloy is the focus. And, see what I did there? Focus. But, Aloy is the focus of the story. So, I really like how they paint Aloy as like, oh, she rises from outcast to being the chosen one or the anointed, which she didn't like to be called. So, I really like that. It really reminds me of what they did in Tales of Arise, where Alphen rised from being a slave to being like the hero of Dana, you know, freeing the Danans from slavery. Similar to that, I like stuff like that. Someone starting off really low, whether it's an outcast or a slave, like my boy Alphen, and then becoming something like a hero of sorts. It's really good. It's really, really well done. And Aloy is just a great character. She's got a great personality. I love her sarcastic tone. She has a lot of sassy remarks, and I love her for it. She's just really enjoyable, like, of a protagonist. She's honestly one of my favorite protagonists of all time. Like, she's up there with Ryudo from Grandia 2 and Cloud Strife from, specifically, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Since someone asked me my favorite protagonist. Aloy's up there. She's probably in my top 5. Like, she's a really good protagonist. Her background is tragic, and her journey, I like following her journey and learning more about her. And the ending was just so well done. Seeing Elizabeth say what she was looking for in a daughter, and Aloy kind of like getting emotional at the end. It was so good. But yeah, side characters in this game really could have done better. They really are only important in their side quests, which is neat. You know, it's good to have side quests that are like, hey, they have important moments, but if you're looking for like strong characters, you're not going to find it. I was cool with it because Aloy was such a strong character. I kind of wish the others did more, but Erend, you know, Erend served this purpose, and Silence. Silence is the other character I want to talk about. Silence is a great character. He comes kind of late in the story, but he's a really nice, opposite of Aloy. Like, you know, his whole, like, because Aloy was like, as Elizabeth said, she's like, giving hope to the world, and Silence wants knowledge. They had a really neat dynamic going on, Aloy and Silence. And also, I liked how Aloy didn't completely trust Silence, because Silence wasn't really open with her, and then finally at the end of the game where he told her everything. I do like that stuff. I liked it. Aloy and Silence are a great duo. I do like the whole, like, hey, camaraderie thing they got going on, like, where they don't entirely trust each other. But, and Silence just disappearing at the end. I don't remember if there's another cutscene after this, so I don't want to say much more about that, but yeah. Aloy was the best. Silence and Erend are probably the next, are the best supporting characters. And the others, you know, they serve their purpose, like, Varl and, Tirsa, I guess, and, like, all the others. They serve their purpose really well. Thank you for making the game, Guerrilla Games. I appreciate it. I look forward to your second game. But yeah, if I were to give this game a rating, maybe like a 6 out of 10. I think a 6 out of 10 is fair, considering that, like, I'm bad. Oh, hey, Frozen Wilds. Wait, is this the Frozen Wilds credits? No, why am I watching the Frozen Wilds credits? Oh, there is another cutscene. Oh, Silence! My boy!
Hello, old friend. Remember me? We've still so much to discuss. So much you never revealed. Your masters, for example. The ones who sent the signal that woke you. Knowledge has its rewards, don't you think? Well, let's begin.
Oh, dude, that's a major teaser for Forbidden West. I totally forgot about that cutscene. Totally forgot about that. Ended the War Machine threat. Yeah, we did. Is it going to bring me back to the game? I want to go to the title screen. I want to wrap this video up in the title screen. But yeah, I don't have much more to say. 6 out of 10, I think, is fair. Considering that what I really love about this game. A 6 out of 10 game is good. Oh, hey, congratulations on defeating Hades, protecting Gaia's dream of an Earth reborn. State of the world has been restored to just before the looming shadow prior to the final battle. You keep all loot and experience from your successful playthrough. Ooh, NG+. I don't know if I'll NG+, because Forbidden West is coming out soon. Nice. Hey, complete. I guess this is what goes on. Alright. I think, take me to a campfire. Doesn't matter which. There's one right here. New main quest. Oh, so now it's okay. Okay, so you can keep doing Looming Shadow. And if I wanted to grind to 50, then I can do that. Not gonna bother. I'm gonna go to the title screen and wrap this video up. We're under 6 hours. I'm glad we got this done. So I was right. The main story took about can I go to the title screen? How do I quit? Yeah. I had a good accurate assumption. It did take about an hour because let's see, we were done with the Looming Shadow probably at like the 4 hour 30-minute mark. So this took about an hour, and I had trouble on the Deathbringer, so it could have been quicker. But yeah, the playthrough's not over yet. If you're done with watching Horizon's main story, then I hope you all enjoyed. I enjoyed this game. 6 out of 10 is fair, considering the fact that I like this game mostly because of Aloy. Like, the gameplay's good. The gameplay's fun, but it's not why I adore this game. I adore this game because of Aloy. Aloy makes this game for me. That's all there is to it. Aloy makes this game for me. And, everything else is good. Like, there's no bad in this game. That's the thing. Like, I'm thinking about it right now because, like, there's no bad. There's nothing bad in this game that I can think of, personally. But it's not one of my favorite games of all time, if that makes sense. But, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. But my enjoyment isn't like, you know, it's not one of my favorite games, but it's not a bad game. Quite opposite, it's a good game. Oh, you give it higher than a 6? A 6 is good, though. Think about it like this. A 5 is average. A 6 is good. Maybe a 7, but I don't know. A 6 is fine. Like, gameplay was good, but it wasn't like, you know, it's not my cup of tea. So considering this game is like not my genre, I think a 6 out of 10 is fair. Maybe a 7, but I'd have to think about it. I don't know. Maybe when Forbidden West comes out, I'll give that like a 7 or 8. Because this game, I don't really think there's bad things about it. There's things they could have done differently. They could have had more machines rideable. I wish they had more machines rideable. I'm trying to think. There's a couple of stuff. The spear is pretty useless. I hope they make the spear useful. So these are like little things. They don't make the game detrimental, or they don't make the game bad, but these are things the game can improve upon. It's like if I were to say, hey, Grandia should have Lean and Mullen be playable. Is the game bad because it doesn't have Lean and Mullen playable? No. But it would be better. That's what I'm saying with Horizon. They can add things like make more machines rideable. I think they are going to do that in Forbidden West. And they can make the spear a better weapon. I think they already are making the spear better. I've heard people say they're making the spear better. But stuff like that doesn't make the game awful or bad. They're not detrimental. They're not flaws. But they can be improved, basically. I think I'm done talking. Like, honestly, the premise was really good. The story was good. Honestly, my letdown is with the other characters, really. Like, I hope they do more in Forbidden West. Like, Aloy was such a strong lead, but the others were a little weak. The only ones I can really say resonated with me were Silence and maybe a bit of Erend. Erend kind of resonated with me. I kind of felt for him with his sister and everything. And Rost, but he died early on, so it's kind of hard to say he had an impactful. He was impactful for the little game screen time he had. But other than that, the others don't do much. So that's my weak points, I guess. But either way, good game. And we're doing Frozen Wilds. We'll start that either tomorrow or Saturday. But yeah, those of you watching, if you're done watching the main story, I hope you all enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing this, and I look forward to doing the Frozen Wilds. And whoever is going to watch the Frozen Wilds, hope you all enjoy that. Or just watch Forbidden West when that comes out. That will be a fun time for sure. I have no guarantee. Or I have no doubt. But, yeah. So, I don't know. Tomorrow will be Horizon. Just look at my Twitter. I'll do Horizon or Arc the Lad too. But we'll start the DLC either tomorrow or Saturday. And, I don't know. I've never played the DLC, but it should take, like, I don't know. I've heard 8 to 10 hours is a fair guess, but it depends how much you do. So, we'll just see when the time rolls around. But, yeah. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.